Hello guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Welcome to Mhiribidi House. If this is your first time bumping into our channel, we very gladly welcome you to our channel, and we hope that you get to stay with us as we share our journey from building our dream house in Zimbabwe, as well as what we are currently doing in our day-to-day lives. So in this video, I'm going to share with you, kind of give you feedback on our recent trip to Zimbabwe, what it was like, the things that we learned, and what it means for us now going forward. So you really have got to watch, guys, till the very end, because you don't want to miss out on the juicy details that I'm going to be sharing in between and towards the end of this video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, consider subscribing and press that like button, press that subscribe button, and guys, don't forget to share with others what's happening at Mhiribidi House, so we can reach a wider audience here on YouTube, so our videos can be pushed to as many people as possible who might be needing or who might be embarking on a similar journey to ours, or different, but they might learn one or two things. I mean, I know from your feedback you've been giving us, guys, some of you have learned one or two things from us, and that is the purpose of this channel, to share and learn, from us and from others, so that you can achieve, if it is your dream to build your dream house, you can achieve that, and also kind of see what others are also doing. So, and also, before I forget, actually, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you guys who have been supporting us so far. Those of you who have been subscribing to our channel, I know there were times when I was nagging you guys saying, please subscribe to our channel, and you have. You really have come through for us, and we would not have made it this far, guys. We now at 1,600 subscribers. This would not have happened if it wasn't for you guys, because I certainly know there were times when I nearly gave up, when we nearly gave up, but you kept pushing us, kept coming to our inbox, asking, when is the next video coming out? Even up until now, someone like my brother-in-law was telling me there was one night he came home expecting to see our video, and we had not uploaded. So that just tells you guys how supportive you guys have been, and so that's what keeps us going. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We really thank you. We appreciate you guys. We love you so much, and thank you so much. So guys, as well as, let me nag one more time, as much as you're supporting us, please don't forget to watch the ads, watch the adverts that come through on the videos, because that's how you would help to grow this channel. So yeah, please watch the adverts. Don't skip them, just bear with them, and then continue watching the video. So let's get right into today's video. Yes. And yes, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. I'm back home, and I'm just out in our garden picking up. Guys, we came back to look some pears. So it's been raining today. So normally I would say wash your fruit before you've eaten it. But it's been raining, so my fruit has been washed. So right, so guys, I am back. And you can see I've lost some weight. The double chin is gone. That's all due to eating organic food in Zimbabwe, guys. We were eating well, enjoying the food, and now we're back. And there are a couple of things I would want to share with you guys, from my time when I was there in Zimbabwe. That thing I spoke about before, the thing about being home, guys. I can't shake that feeling. I think me going home has actually made that feeling much stronger than before. Really strong. Home is calling me. Home is calling us. Even my husband as well. He is admitted to feeling pulled to being back home in Zimbabwe. And I think for us, I think being at the house kind of made things more clearer for us, where we might have been, undecided about what do we do, what's our future like. It's. I think this experience going home has made some few things a bit clearer for us. So, guys, hey, we are at crossroads now. We are at crossroads on what to do. We know what to do. We know what we should do, but it's not easy to just up and leave. What do you do? What do you do? So those are some of the things that are kind of going on in our heads. So our time in Zimbabwe was very, very, very nice. And one thing we quickly learned was when you've got money, things will go okay for you. When you've got a business going to give you that regular income, things will work out for you. So for us, our position is we've got the house, we've got the solar system, which we're going to be upgrading soon, guys. I'll probably share the video with you once we've managed to do that, because that's one thing we actually picked up, which is the beauty of actually being on the ground, because then you get to experience and see what's working, what doesn't work, what do you need to do. So one thing we quickly picked up on was our solar system needed to be upgraded. And so that's one thing we've said we need to try and get that sorted. So what I've actually done, guys, I gave some of the feedback in parts. I think one night it was myself and Anashe, we felt like just doing a vlog on our experience in Zimbabwe. You can get to see what we were feeding back that night. But the big question would be, what has our time at the house taught us? We've learned a lot, guys, and I think this is something that would also be transferable to most people who might be considering to go and relocate in Zimbabwe. I must admit, the feeling of going back. Before I knew I wanted to relocate back to Zimbabwe. But since being back, I think the pull has been so strong, guys. It's been so strong that, if I could go like tomorrow, I would literally pack my bags and go. Why am I not doing that right now? Because there are a few things that have to be put into perspective that needs to be finalized for us to make sure that when we do go there, like I said to you before, we need to make sure there's a plan in place because we want it to work. We don't want to just up and go, and then within a few months you hear us crying here on YouTube saying it didn't work. Because I know there's some people who have had a negative experience when they've tried to relocate. And to be honest, I can't really say, it failed because they didn't plan. I'm sure they must have done their due diligence, but sometimes things don't always work out. And sometimes, we might have overlooked certain things, or we might have put our eggs into one basket. That's one lesson I would say I've learned in Zimbabwe, that if you're considering relocating, you need to bear that in mind. Don't put your eggs in one basket, guys, because things in Zimbabwe, the pace in Zimbabwe, things change very quickly. although things are slow paced most of the time in terms of how people do business sometimes, which also depends on what type of business, but your day-to-day person, the likes of if I'm dealing like with contractors, for example, because that's what those are the people who I was working with. It's not as fast paced as you might find in the diaspora. People take their time, guys. There's no hurry in Africa. It's very true for some people in these trades. They are in no rush, and also they probably have one or two or more things going at the same time as your project. So you've got to bear that in mind. So what I was saying is things can change very quickly. What was working yesterday might not be working today. So if you put all your eggs in one basket to say, okay, I'm gonna be doing this type of business, it might quickly lose trend. People, it might quick the market might quickly change because people are constantly looking for money, ways to make money. So you've got to be on your feet looking for opportunities of what's the best next thing that you can venture into. So don't put your eggs into one basket. Try and do different streams of income, whether like you run your little shop, because people want to eat. That's one thing I saw. Like if you're running a small shop or a tuck shop or anything to do with food, you're not gonna do too bad because people have got to eat at the end of the day. So that's one thing you could be doing, and maybe you could be running a vegetable store, alongside that, or those who are into farming could be doing their farming alongside that, and also transport as well. So different things that people could be doing. So don't put your eggs into one basket. Do different little businesses that give you income because you're gonna need it. Like I said, the minute you wake up, the minute you leave your house, someone is out to get your money. Someone is out to get your money. So your job is also to look out on whose money you're gonna get, and that's when you are doing business. So that's the only way it will work in Zimbabwe. This thing of I will save this much money, it doesn't work. You've got to find a business that's going to bring you money so that you are also getting money from other people, and some people are also getting some things from you. So if you run a service, if you're providing a service, that's gonna give you that is going to give you some income. And one thing I also saw is you don't need a lot of money. So yeah, so you don't actually need a lot of money if you've got your own house and you've got your own power system going on. So you've got to have your solar system. To be off grid is good, but if you want to be, if you put an off grid system and still connect to ZESA, you can, because apparently you can sell some of your power to ZESA. So that could also be another way of you generating some income. That is, if you've got a very good solar power system in place. How much, I don't know, but some people do that. So yeah, so you've got your own house, you've got your solar power system going on, and you have your own water supply. I mean, for us at the moment in the house, we don't yet have a borehole system. In the area that we live in, our water supply has never been an issue. It's usually very reliable. But you probably need to have a Jojo tank in place. We've got a 5,000 liter Jojo tank. And I think maybe moving forward, we need to get another 5,000 tank until there comes a time when we are able to get a bore drilled, because from what I've been seeing on YouTube, you need to have at least 3,000 and above to get a bore done, and also a lot of scammers from what I've seen. Really sorry if you've been scammed regarding borehole, and for me, I think that's one of my biggest concerns. Like, will I find someone who is reliable? I suppose I could look at people who have had their one done, and maybe you go through those people who have had their borehole done genuinely, no issues. Maybe a few people, because with our experience with the house, of people saying they know what they're doing, I think I'm now very skeptical on who I contract to do things for me, for us. So yeah, so you would need your water system, good supply of your water system. But if you've got a JoJo tank and live in an area that's reliable with water, that can also work. Or as I've seen with some people, they do a well, so that's another option. You could get a well dug up and do it that way. So you've got your water, your borehole, your house. Sorry, I'm saying your bowl. The water could be part of the borehole, and then what you could do to try and minimize your expenses, if you've got space on your yard, grow some vegetables. Grow some covo, some rape, some tomatoes, some onions, like day-to-day things that you know you're gonna use. So if you can afford to have a greenhouse, to have a greenhouse, then I would say, yeah, please do consider having a greenhouse, because then it means you can have your vegetables throughout the year, so that it's not seasonal for you. You can just plant in your greenhouse and be looking after them and harvesting throughout the year. Make sure you've got a fridge. You guys saw our fridge when we were in Zim. That was just a temporary fridge. But yeah, you would need to have a good fridge. You need to have a good freezer as well, so that you can, if you buy a cow, or if you buy a goat, you can cut that into small pieces and put it in your freezer, so that it doesn't spoil quickly. So that's one thing. Also, make sure you've got a good fridge system going on as well. And some people do chickens. So if you want to be, you could be selling some of those chickens, but also keeping some for yourselves, so that you've got meat. If you're a meat eater, that is. So you've got that, so that you're not incurring costs where you now have to go to the shops and buy these things. Because to buy a chicken, you are looking in Zimbabwe, like a broiler, you are looking at anything between $6 and $8. And when you now talk of road runners and all, you might be paying a little bit more, because they are healthier option, and also they are really nice. So you might want to consider doing your own chicken, rearing your own chickens within your space, within your yard, just to try and cut down on cost, so that cost you can incur where you can avoid having costs on things you can do. Try and do that yourself. And if it's things then that you are not able to do, like it could be you can do it if you watch YouTube videos, like your cleaning supply, for your toilets, your household dishwashing liquids and stuff like that. Some people I know can make those things. So if you're one of those people, consider doing that, and consider selling that to people within your local community. So yeah, try and do what you can yourself. And then things that you can't are the things then that you try and outsource from your local shops or wherever else you might be doing that. So those are the main things I kind of noticed. And with your chickens as well, if you consider also having chickens, the layers, those layers, it's not a mazai. If you can consider that, then you've got your eggs for breakfast covered. So it just depends also on the space you've got, and your resources, obviously. So which is why I say, guys, you've got to have some money. You've got to have some money. Otherwise, if you just get up and go just because you've watched a YouTube video of someone like me, someone like me who have maybe been planning for years, especially like building our house, because we now have a house, and then you just see this and you think it's happened overnight. It's not, it doesn't, those things didn't happen overnight, guys. They happened over a long period of time. So you've got to do your own research on what you think is going to work for you. Because if you think of renting, yeah, then it also depends on where you want to rent. And to be honest, guys, I don't recommend renting, because then you go and you are being told what to do, when to clean the toilet, you've not cleaned it enough, you're making noise for us, and all these rules that come with being a mroja, you know what I mean? So I don't think you would want that type of to stay in that type of environment. So where possible, try and get your own house done. You know, guys, even, you know, I'm going to be sharing with you in the video, we started off with a chicken with our storage. If you remember, those of you who have been following, if you haven't, we have a storage, we have a storage building, an outdoor building we were using on our home, where we were storing our cement and stuff like that. But when we went home, we initially decided I told my husband I wanted to have a chicken coop because I'd watched some videos here on YouTube of people who had chickens and they were picking their own eggs and stuff like that. And I remember commenting on I think it was Taste of Home on their channel, because they do rear chickens in their backyard, and I really admired that. I was like, you know, I could actually imagine myself picking the eggs first thing in the morning. And so I said to my husband, I want to have a chicken coop. And he was like, okay, I'll speak to the builders. And, you know, he arranged for that to be done. The wire mesh went in. Everything was almost finished. And then something happened. And we actually thought, oh, we could actually change this into a building. Someone can actually stay there, because there was someone we needed to help us with something and they were not very comfortable staying in the main house. So they just wanted somewhere quiet for them, that they call their own as a temporary thing, because we have to build a proper structure, like a proper cottage at the back of the house. So we're like, oh, okay, so the chicken coop we can actually convert that into a temporary dwelling. So we've actually done that, guys. You will see that in this video as well. I'll do that as a separate video actually, or else it will be too long. So yeah, so we've actually converted that into a temporary dwelling place. But when you don't have money, you can't. I'm not saying I've got money. I'm not loaded with money, guys. But what I'm simply saying is, if you don't actually have a single penny on you or a single dollar on you to make those decisions, you can't do it. So we actually managed to do that, and it's looking it's looking something, you know, that someone can just stay there temporarily while we try and figure out what's next. So what I'm saying is, things can move quickly and you have to change the wind of direction, the direction of wind or wind of direction, whichever one comes first. But you have to change quickly, and you know where you are required to do that. If you don't have the resources to do it, then you're stuck. So another field where people are making money is in medicine, dispensing medication, like your pharmacists. So if people who own pharmacies, if you are in that field, if you are able to navigate or work with local people on how you can open your own pharmacy, guys, people are making money. And I went into a chemist one day, and there was a lady who wanted to buy crucial medication, and she could afford to pay for some, but not all of them. And I could not believe that someone was put in that position where they had to prioritize that. Okay, I think this blood pressure medication can wait. I mean, I work in the healthcare system, and I know medication for blood pressure, you can't say I'll prioritize this one and not the other. If it's prescribed and if it's required, it's required. And this person, they'd been recently reviewed, and their blood pressure must have been really high, and they needed to have this medication. So she was put in that position where she had to make that decision. Fortunately, I was in a position to help. So I managed to help, and then she managed to get a medication and went home. But imagine people who are quite unwell, and they need to have these medications. They have to have them. So, pharmacies is another way of making money. If you are within that industry, or if you can work with local people to embark on those in those industries. So I know some of the so that's that one covered. That's another business adventure you could consider going into if you can do that. So it's also making sure that when you go back, guys, you need a car. You really need to have a car. If you're husband and wife, you need to have two cars. That, I mean, I suppose it depends on what you'll be doing. For us, that's one thing that became very clear for us when we were there. We needed to have two cars because we could have done different errands without needing to wait for this person, or having to juggle and drop this person here, pick them up there, and it was just messy. For us, it didn't work. So we actually learned that when we're in Zim, we've got to have two cars, so that we can achieve more within a short period of time. Because I think that's one of the limitations that we had. So sometimes I had to use GPPP, local transport, to try and get some things done when my husband wasn't around. But that's very inconvenient, because then you are needing to call someone, and that's another business idea. I know the market is flooded, but guys, I think if when you provide a superb service, because that's one thing that's lacking in Zimbabwe, unfortunately. In as much as I love my country, customer service is very lacking in so many areas. I think that's one thing we need to work on improving. So if you provide a bespoke transport system, that's another area that has got gaps, guys. Transport. People need transport. And I think it's about someone then looking to see where are the gaps, and then you try and fill it in. Because at the moment, everyone says, oh, it's flooded, it's flooded. But I actually saw some gaps when I was there of where someone can actually penetrate. It's probably something I might consider doing, and then see if it works. Then I'll come and share with you guys here, or where you can penetrate in that industry of providing transport, because there were a lot of people stranded needing transport, and also the timing of it. So you need your own transport, so you can move around freely without too much restriction. There was a video I will share, or I've already shared, with me and my sister, where we were sat packed, guys, like sardines in a tin, because those guys you've got to wait for them to load up their car, and you find in the front you probably have the driver. It was the driver, myself, and my sister. It was three of us, and I think Vakatotinyara, because usually apparently there are four people sitting in front, including the driver, and then people are picked up. So in some of these GPPP cars, so and they charge like from Mashingo town kushika to get to Rujeko, or from town to go to Mucheke, it's 50 cents. So they've got to wait for the car to load up, and then they can move. And by the time I did the calculation, like for a smaller one, that person needs to get $3 for one-way trip. So I would usually just hire one with my kids if I needed to go somewhere. Instead of waiting and be inconvenienced, I would hire one, and then we just go. Whether it was two of us, four of us, just hire one for $3. He's got his money. That's all they want. So that's another way of doing income. Another business you could venture into: driving, guys, driving school, owning a driving school. If you've got, with the amount of people who love to drive, I think it's a lucrative business. So while we were there, our son, you remember a video from before, my son wanting to do his driving test. He finally did his driving lessons and his driving test while we were in Zimbabwe. So when you run a driving school, they now do different packages depending on your affordability. So we went for a package that was costing 300 Was it 380 or 360? One of those. I think it was 380 US dollars. There was another driving school offering a similar package for 460 US dollars. So you can see, guys, how easy someone can make this money. So this was like an unlimited package in terms of, the number of lessons you can do, in terms of if you fail, how many times you can resit and all of that stuff. So it kind of covers you and gives you that reassurance, so you're not worrying about, oh, I have to pay another whatever amount to do a lesson or to go back to VID and stuff like that. So people with driving schools are making money because almost a lot of people like to drive. Most people I've spoken to in Zimbabwe, they are aiming to drive at some point. They want to be doing a driving lesson, or they are already doing one. So that's a business. You probably, if you run it properly, good customer service, know how to respect a client, which is one thing people in the diaspora, I think we are good at. It's one thing we've learned, that the customer is always right, and how you look after a customer. So we need to look at how can we optimize that knowledge we've gained to apply it within our communities to make things a bit better. So car would be one thing you would need to have, definitely. So you will be then worrying about your travel costs, in terms of your fuel. And guys, if you put $20 in your car, you can do multiple local trips up and down on $20. You can do that. And then also, if you then want to do longer ones, then that's different. You've got to fill it in. I think for the car we were using, to fill the tank, we were paying $100. And guys, that would last us a long time. You would even forget, like, oh, when did we last put fuel in the car? You would not even think about it. And we were driving up and down quite a few times, guys. So another business venture, I'm sorry, this is now turned into a business venture video because I'm thinking on my feet, guys, trying to think of what have I fed back to you, what have I not fed back to you. Another business venture you could go into, because people are building a lot. Guys, I could not believe the amount of people who are building in Zimbabwe. Like, if you go to my hardware shops, if you opening a hardware shop is another one. Before I forget, there are so many of them flying through my mind. So opening a hardware shop is one of those things you can do to sell either cement, my tiles, those things, my toilet seats, my basin, my bathtubs, all of these things, my shower and all sorts. Even my barbed wire, we started our homesteading, so my barbed wire and all these are things you can put in your hardware shop. So owning one, you're gonna, you are rest assured people are gonna be coming to buy. Make your prices competitive. The problem with people is greediness. Just do it to make profit and not be greedy, then you'll be fine. So that's one thing you could do, is selling cement and all these things, plumbing stuff and all this, anything to do with building, people will buy. And then another thing, per transport, I'd forgotten actually, on transport, doing deliveries. So like for people who are building, you can actually offer to deliver their goods for them. So if someone goes to buy cement, you could be offering to get their cement on. You can charge them to transport their cement and offload that. And also river sand, pit sand, concrete stones, all of those things. If you've got a truck that you can use for that, that's another one, because people are gonna need those things to build my bricks. Even running bricks, making bricks and selling, guys. These are things that you can do, and these are things that are making money. So there are lots and lots and lots of things. So for me, the way I see it, of all the things I've shared with you for today, surely one can find something they can do, they can afford to do within those things to be able to sustain yourself. One or two, three things. Remember, I said don't put one basket, don't put one, all your eggs in one basket. So you can find little things of these things you can do to earn some income. And then you can do whatever else you want to do. So for Mhiribidi House, we've got so many things to think about. We were thinking, oh, the house is almost done. We can put our feet and, enjoy a cup of tea and chill. Guys, we've not started. We have not started. And now even with the plots on board, phew, I'm just hanging, hanging on the seam of my mattress, kind of anticipating what else. Very excited, guys, very excited, but also very nervous about what's coming. What's coming? What does that mean financially for us? And the commitment, how are we going to do it? Because we don't want to do remote type of management on these things, guys, because with the stuff we've watched on YouTube, a lot of people who have done remote, for some people, very small number of people, it's worked okay, but for most people, remote type of working on things like farming, plots, animal rearing, and all of this, it does not work, guys. It does not work. Sometimes you might think that, oh, my business is not booming. It could be booming and people are not being transparent with you. And all that. I'm not insinuating anyone I know does that, but these are common things I've seen on YouTube. For us, we've been very blessed with with family members who have been supporting us, especially with the house, who have been supporting us to build the house. But guys, you can't close your eyes either about these things, because there are so many people who have been duped by people they thought they trusted to be doing stuff for them. But for us, we're good. So you can so remote type of working long term does not work. Maybe initially when you are starting out and needing one or two things done, but long term you've got to be on the ground and doing it yourself. So sometimes you might think you are being duped, and in actual fact the business might also not be moving. So and then you then be like suspecting people that, oh, my business is not working, they are probably stealing from me. It might not be the case. It might not be the case, or it could be the case. So you never know, which is why, guys, you've got to be on the ground yourself. You've got to be on the ground yourself. So I've had a great time, guys. I don't want to lie. Even my daughter didn't want to come back. And we just had to come back and sort out a few things while we try and work out what the future holds for Mhiribidi House. So keep supporting us, keep standing with us. We'll be updating you on what's happening, what we're doing. But I hope this video has helped to give you some insights on what relocating to Zimbabwe might need you to do. I might have left some things, guys. If there's something you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comment section. If there are things you want to see on this channel, let us know in the comment section, and we'll see what we can do. Otherwise, we thank you so much. Thank you for staying tuned till this this far, because I know it's a long video, but I was bursting with so much to tell you, and I hope to see you soon, and you have a lovely day.